Hey, what's going on, guys? Mock draft time. Uh, I haven't made a video like this in a while. In recent news, I've been doing my college search, doing my final visits, and recently I committed to college. I won't give you the details on which college, but I will give you my major. Declared for sports media, so that'll help me with this channel a lot and help me pursue probably my biggest passion. In other news, also the AP test is coming up. I'm a senior in high school. I take AP Calculus AB, so got to prepare for that. But we're in mock draft time. I tried to do one. I was recording a video with with trades, and it just didn't turn out well. Trades kept on getting declined, and I kind of want to stray away from the hypotheticals. People are going to be questioning which teams can trade up, which teams can trade down, but I'm just going to go with the teams and their needs. Obviously, more picks have been traded, the Seahawk, or not the Seahawk pick, the Eagles. Sorry, the Eagles and the Saints. Saints traded the 16th pick and their future first round pick, which I thought was a hideous offer. I did not like the Saints giving up. They gave up a lot to go for the 16th pick. Anyways, let's start this mock draft off. I think that Aiden Hutchinson is going to go one. I'm kind of convinced that he is. It's either going to be him or Evan Neal. The Lions, I think they could make a run at Malik Willis, but I still think that edge rusher is their number one need. Jared Goff, you still have a year of Jared Goff. I don't think you're going to be that competitive next year. And next year is a good quarterback class, but Malik Willis has that potential. He has the arm. He has the speed. I do think Malik Willis has a chance to go at 2, and then if he doesn't go at 2, I see him going at 6. The Texans at 3, I could see them going with offensive linemen. They can go with Ikemquanu, slide him in at guard, or they could put him at right tackle, because they do have their beast of they have Laramie Tunsil at left tackle, who is still under contract, but they have nobody at edge. And do I buy the hype that Trayvon Walker is gonna go at 3? I don't think he really does. I know the media portrays him as like this super good player, and looking deep into his scouting report, I mean, he's athletic as hell. I made a video on this. Go check it out, about how Trayvon Walker is overhyped. I do think he's a top 5 pick, but I do not think he's the second edge rusher on the board. But at the same time, our front office is going to take that chance. They've taken chances on athletic edge rushers like Cleveland Farrell, Solomon Thomas, that can do it all. But do athletic as hell edge rushers that go in the really high first round do very well in the NFL? I can name one, and that's Jadeveon Clowney. And he was a good pass rusher, but his best attribute was run defense. So with the Texans can go a lot of ways, but I'm going to say that they're going to go with edge rusher. They're going to go with Kayvon Thibodeau. They can also go with offensive lineman. The Jets are up at 4, and I see them taking Jermaine Johnson. There was some stuff on Twitter talking about there was screenshots about Jermaine Johnson liking Jets fans' tweets about him going at 4. He was a top 30 visit there. So I think that Jermaine Johnson can go at 4. He had good production in college. He had one of the top pressure rates. So I could definitely see him going at 4. I've had him going in the top 10 for the past almost all my mock draft, actually. The Giants at 5. Evan Neal is on the board. You take the best offensive lineman available. The Carolina Panthers. They probably will rush to get a quarterback. So I'm going to go with Kenny Pickett just because I can see them trying to make this move. Quarterbacks go a lot earlier than people think, like Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett. I do not see quarterbacks falling as much as we think. I think Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis are top 15 picks. And if they're not, that'd be surprising, actually, because Malik Willis is a good quarterback. Kenny Pickett's a good quarterback. but also they have their flaws. Like Malik Willis went to Liberty, and Kenny Pickett has small hands. He has the same hands as me, by the way. Actually, he is 8-inch hands, or 8.5. Anyways, the Giants at 7. This is the best edge rusher or the best corner available. Sauce Gardner, James Bradbury might be cut. The Giants have no salary cap, so that's going to be an interesting thing. I think that Sauce Gardner probably goes in the top 10. The Falcons at 8, you lost Matt Ryan. You really don't have any receivers, but other than Julio Jones, they don't. Or the Falcons tend to pick receiver in the first round. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, but Calvin Ridley did get suspended for the year, and I can see them taking a chance on Trayvon Walker. Now the Seahawks at 9. I see them taking the best offensive lineman available. Ika Mekwonu falls to 9. The Jets at 10. Now, I'm torn between two players, Garrett Wilson and Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams, I think, is the best receiver. He has the best downfield ability. He's fast as hell. He's kind of like Devontae Smith without the elite route running, but he's still a really good route runner. And he's the closest thing to Tyreek Hill, who the Jets tried to pursue. But the Jets could possibly trade the 10th overall pick if they want to get receiver, which I don't even think they need to trade. But I don't see guys like A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. I don't see those guys getting traded. They're still under team control, and it would be a waste just to trade two second-round picks for one of the best receivers. Those are all top 10, top 15 receivers in the league. And I don't see teams trading them for second round picks. But I am going to go with Jameson Williams for the Jets. I think that he makes the offense a lot better, especially with Zach Wilson's downfield ability. They don't have a number one receiver. They do have Elijah Moore, who I think is really good. And we have Corey Davis. So I think that Jameson Williams make that receiver room a hell of a lot better. Now, I do like Garrett Wilson, and he is the closest thing to Odell that we've seen in a while. But I think that the Jets like Jameson Williams a little bit better. It's just my opinion. The Commanders, at 11, they're probably going to go with best receiver available. They need somebody other than Terry McLaurin to carry that team. The Vikings at 12, this is probably the best secondary player. Derek Stingley had a sick pro day. He didn't even look like he was trying, and he ran like a 4.37, had a vert of 32.5, something insane. And they really don't have the greatest secondary, and probably going to go with the best secondary available. And this brings me to Kyle Hamilton. He didn't run that well at his pro day. He ran like a 4.6. At the combine, he ran a 4.59. And looking at his tape a little bit deeper, not the best open field runner. He's really good laterally, and he's good against the run, great tackler, great size, but he fits more in the Jamal Adams role, the Cam Chancellor role, where he's in the box, and I watching him cover receivers is not good. Anyways, not to knock him, because he's still a good player. The Texans at 13, this was from the Deshaun Watson. And after all talking about Kyle Hamilton, I'm going to pick him at 13. I already said enough about Kyle Hamilton, about how I think he's best suited in the box. The Ravens, they just re-signed Calais Campbell, but I still think that they should go with the best interior defensive lineman, going with Jordan Davis. The Eagles at 15, probably BPA. I mean, Charles Cross is falling in my mock draft, but they could either go with Drake London, they can go with a best receiver, or they could go with edge rusher. But I don't think George Karlaftis kind of warrants going at early as 15, even though I do think he's a good player. But we're going to go probably with Drake London. If he has a good pro day, I think if he's not participating, I don't know if he is, but if he runs really well there, like 4.5, I could see him going in the top 15. He arguably is one of the best receivers, had the best production out of all of them, but skill-wise, James Williams is faster, and Garrett Wilson probably translates really well, even though Drake London has shades of Mike Evans. The Saints at 16. Look, they lost Ron Armstead, and if you want to have your left tackle if you want to have a good replacement for him, you can go with Charles Cross at 16. I don't want him to fall anymore. And it probably sucks for the Chargers here, but they're probably going to get Trevor Penning, who I think is offensive tackle 4, and I still think they need to address that position. The Eagles at 18, even though I think the Eagles front office is one of the best at trading. They got another first-round pick next year as well, so we're going to go with the best cornerback here. Help improve their secondary, get a guy next to Darius Slay. The Saints are back up. Got to go with the best receiver available, and I think that's Treylon Burks. The Jets could arguably trade up to this position as well if they wanted to go get another receiver. If they don't get Jameson Williams, or a team like the Chiefs could trade up here because they do have two first-round picks as well. The Steelers just lost Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. But the team likely needs offensive linemen the most, so we're going to go with Zion Johnson. 21, the Patriots going to go with the best secondary available. They lost Stephon Gilmore, lost J.C. Jackson. They still have Jonathan Jones, but that's really it. The Packers need to address the receiver position. Going to go with a guy like Jahan Dotson. It's going to be incredibly hard for Aaron Rodgers now. I really wish they didn't pick Jordan Love when they did, but that was one of the worst picks. I mean, how do you go with Jordan Love there? Now you're screwed because you lost Devontae Adams. The Cardinals. They could go a lot of positions. They can go with edge because they did lose Chandler Jones. They could go with cornerback because their secondary is weaker. But I could see them going with George Karlaftis, try to replace Chandler Jones, who went to the Raiders. The Cowboys, not a great offseason. Not a very good offseason. But they could go with interior defensive line. They could try to go with interior offensive line, get that center of the future. Or they can go with, I don't think the receivers here. You could go with Chris Olave because they did trade Amari Cooper. And it's a tough pick. I've been trying to figure out what the Cowboys could be leading towards in the draft. I'm kind of confused what they could go with, and especially with the needs now. The best edge is probably David Ajabo, but he tore his Achilles. But we'll take a shot in the dark here. Let's go with David Ajabo. We'll see how he translates to the NFL after that ACL tear. Probably won't be until like week 8. The Buffalo Bills are back up. Probably best cornerback available. Edge rusher, they solved that need with Von Miller. They have a decent receiving core, even though I still think that, or they re-signed Stephon Gilmore, even though I still think that the receiver group does need help. So we're going to go with Chris Olave. The Titans traded for Robert Woods, still have A.J. Brown. And the linebacker position, or the interior linebacker position, is still weak. I do think Nakobe Dean does fall to the second round just because of his size, and we saw guys like J.O.K. fall to the second round, who was a similar size to Nakobe Dean. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are up, and this is probably best offensive lineman available, Kenyon Green. They don't need center because they do have Ryan Jensen. The Packers are back up, best edge available, Boye Mafe. I could see him going in the first round. The Chiefs, this is best receiver available. And I'm going to go with 2 back-to-back, actually. I'm going to go with Christian Watson and George Pickens. I think that George Pickens is the most underrated receiver in this draft class. They could go with cornerback because they did lose Jadarius Ward, but you're going to try to help Patrick Mahomes as much as you can. You lost Tyreek Hill. You still have McCole Hardman. But you're really missing that 2 and 3 receiver, or you're missing that one. You're missing that number 1 receiver, and you're missing that number 3 receiver. The Bengals are back up. This is cornerback. You just cannot be throwing out. You just cannot be throwing out Eli Apple out there in the Super Bowl. You need to address cornerback. And the Lions are back up. They chose their quarterback of the future, so this ends up probably being BPA. And I would say you can go with a guy like Deontay Wyatt, but I do think Deontay Wyatt does go before this pick. But that's gonna do it for the mock draft. Make sure you let me know any comments about which teams could trade up. What moves do you think your team could make? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.